بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So Mufti Uthmani Hafidahullah, he mentions a story that he narrates from his father. And last we were discussing about Hazrat Madani rahmatullahi alayhi and how humble he was. So he's mentioning a masala here. That I'm not going to mention the masala because I don't confuse anybody. Inshallah you can discuss it later on. But Mufti Shafi, Uthmani rahmatullahi alayhi, Mufti Saab's father, he used to be the Mufti in Darul Deoband. So he wrote a risala, a booklet regarding one masala. However, Hazrat Madani rahmatullahi alayhi, Mawlana Husain Madani rahmatullahi alayhi, he was the Shaykh of Deoband, but he wasn't in agreement with this masala. So he goes that many times. So they would meet the Mufti Saab and the Ustad of Hadith, and they would discuss this masala. Like once walking here and there, and it didn't work. So they said, okay, like it was not a fight. He didn't go and rebuke him or go behind his back and say, oh, he's saying is wrong, or he's a jahil, or he's got no khawf of Allah. He said, look, we're not agreeing at the moment. Let's take him. We're talking here. We're not coming to a conclusion. I see what you're saying. You're seeing what I'm saying. Let's take some time out. So inshallah, I'll come to the Darul Iftar. We sit down and we take some good time out and we discuss this masala. So then they took some time, and he says for about 3 days they had meetings continuously to discuss this masala. So he would present his evidence, he would give answers, he will raise objections, he will do this. And they carried on for 3 days discussing this. For him, they're disagreeing on this. And this masala is mentioned here is basically, will namaz even count or not? So it's not like a awla, khilaf awla, like a fari masala. It's like one of the main masala, a very important masala. After a while, he said, what you are saying makes sense to me, but I'm not content upon this. I'm not content upon this. And you're also not content upon my argument. So what we do is now we just come to this agreement that आप अपने पर मौक़िफ़ पर रहें, मैं अपने मौक़िफ़ पर. So because you have evidences and you're not convinced by my argument and I'm not convinced by your argument, and still, so you can remain on your position. You can keep that masala, stay on that, and I'll stay on mine. This was a respect and how to deal with ikhtilaf. And then even further, what happened was that once afterwards, somebody came, they got together. Now, the person there's not a few ulama, the person who was following the masala, which is against Hazrat Madani rahmatullahi alayhi, against his masala, he could tell that right now he's not doing amal upon his opinion. So when they came, he said, you can lead salah. You're following, he said, oh, you don't follow what I'm saying, so your salah is not counted, so you can lead salah. So even though according to me right now, the masala you're following is not correct and your salah is not going to be valid, but you can lead salah because you're following the masala of Mufti Shafi Saab rahmatullahi alayhi. But that person again, so much adab, he goes, but because I'm following this masala, which you don't agree with, according to you, my namaz is not counted, so it's best you lead salah. So then Hazrat Madani said, okay, no problem, he led salah. You understand the story thing? So from this we just learned that you can have a masala which you have both parties have evidences, and if there's a situation, there's a scenario, then we need to have adab, we need to have respect and conduct ourselves within this protocol of adab. It's called adabul khilaf. When there's a difference of opinion regarding the ulama in a particular masala, how we deal with this masala. Do you understand? We should not open up our tongues, meaning in Urdu says zuban kholi, meaning you backbite, slander, say bad things about somebody, and they are doing this based on their ilm, on their ijtihad. If this is their ilm, this is their ijtihad, they discuss it, they don't have inshara, their heart is not content on this. We discuss it, and not come to a conclusion, then each party can do amal upon what they do. But the main thing is then here is, you keep adab, you have respect, humility, respect the other party, and sometimes the problem is, if you start opening things, then what happens then? People become, we call it in Urdu, badzan, have su'uzan regarding the ulama, or he's doing this because of this shahawa, or he's doing this because of this or this. Sometimes the masla, you can't have, there are ulama or people who pretend to be ulama, or have read some books but they don't have proper taqwa, and they do give wrong masail. But when you have, that this person is God-fearing, in his whole life you've seen, he's a God-fearing scholar. He's also a God-fearing scholar. They differ. You have to understand that this is a difference of, the dala'il from the Quran are not clear. So it's qat'i thubut, meaning we know it's the Quran, but what's intended meaning is open to interpretation. The hadith is multiple hadiths, varying hadiths, contradicting hadiths that When we put together the hadith and the meaning, he takes it to mean this, he takes it to mean this. So that's what we need to learn. And along with this, we should also learn that these ulama didn't become great ulama just because of knowledge or fame or by chance. These high characteristics of humility, tahammul, hilm, adab, this is what makes them what they are today. And this is the foundation which it comes as a tradition from the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba, Tabi'in, Tabu Tabi'in, all the way to our ulama. It's a tradition of not only knowledge, but tradition of akhlaq, tradition of adab, tradition of a whole way of life. And if we want to be ulama, then we have to also adopt this method. Does everybody understand? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.